Hello everyone, I am Dr. Nidheesh Agarwal, and in this video we will be talking about shedding of hair a few months after hair transplant. So a lot of patients who come to us who are contemplating hair transplant have this doubt that will they shed hairs a few months after hair transplant. They might have read it somewhere, they might have looked at a video or something, and they are usually dreaded by this thought that the hair that they get transplanted, do they fall off a few months after hair transplant? So we'll take it from the top. In hair transplant, what is done is that the donor hair are taken from the back of the scalp and they are transplanted to the front of the scalp. It is something like planting seedlings, and when these hair they are transplanted onto the front of the scalp, it takes some time for them to establish their blood supply, their nutrient supply, and the hair cycle sort of goes into a reset mode. That is why when we transplant the hair, about a month after hair transplant, many of the hairs which are transplanted, they are shed off. It almost gives a barren look, and the patients usually feel very scared that has the hair transplant been unsuccessful. But what has happened is that the hair which were transplanted, they have moved on to the telogen or the shedding phase, and they remain in this phase for say about 3 months. The roots are there in place in the scalp, and after 3 months new hair pop up from those roots. So from the 4th and 5th month onwards, you start seeing new growth. The transplanted hair, if they are shed in the first 3 to 4 months, that's usually not a cause of worry. These hair will grow back and they will then continue to regain their density and take the full density about 1 year after hair transplant. Now there is another short-term hair loss after hair transplant which you people should know about, and that is known as the shock loss. So apart from the hair which are transplanted, there might also be some hairs which are already present in the region in which the transplantation has been done. And since new hair are transplanted in this region and there are needles involved and there's injury to the tissue, many of the original hair in the transplanted region also go into telogen phase and they are also shed off. So sometimes people tell us that the density has even decreased to before the transplant levels. So that is shock loss, that is loss of original hairs in the transplanted area. Again, this is a temporary phase, and these hairs also regrow about 3 to 5 months after hair transplant, and that is when you see the hair density starting to come back, and about a year's time you shall see the maximum result of the hair transplant. So that is it, folks. If you are contemplating hair transplant, you should not worry about short-term loss of hair after hair transplant. This is something that your transplant surgeon would usually reassure you about even before the surgery, and they will also explain it to you in detail when you come for follow-up visits after the hair transplant. Hope this was useful. Thank you.